The Human Resources (HR) department plays a major role in workplace investigations and is often the team coordinating the entire process from beginning to end. In many organizations, HR is the first place employees go when they have concerns about harassment, discrimination, workplace conflict, misconduct, or policy violations. Because of this, HR often acts as the organizer, coordinator, and support system throughout the investigation process. One of HR's first responsibilities is intake and assessment. When a complaint is received, HR documents the details, including who was involved, what allegedly happened, and when and where the incidents occurred. HR then performs an initial assessment, sometimes called a triage, to determine how serious the issue is and whether a formal investigation is needed. Part of this process involves reviewing the complaint against company policies and relevant laws, such as human rights or workplace safety legislation, to determine whether the allegations, if true, would amount to a policy or legal violation. Once an investigation is needed, HR helps plan and organize the process. This may include deciding whether the investigation should be handled internally or by an external investigator. For more sensitive or high-risk situations, especially those involving senior leaders or potential conflicts of interest, organizations often bring in outside investigators to ensure greater neutrality and credibility. HR also helps develop the investigation roadmap, sometimes called the terms of reference. This outlines the scope of the investigation, the issues being reviewed, the people involved, and the overall process. In addition, HR coordinates the logistics such as scheduling interviews, booking private meeting spaces, and organizing documentation while trying to minimize disruption to daily operations. Another important role for HR is supporting the investigator and managing information. HR often provides access to employee files, attendance records, performance reviews, past disciplinary history, and other workplace records that may be relevant to the investigation. HR professionals may also participate in interviews, either by conducting them directly or by assisting the investigator in a neutral and professional way. At the same time, HR often acts as a support resource for employees involved in the process. Workplace investigations can be stressful for everyone involved, including complainants, respondents, and witnesses. HR may answer questions about the process, explain next steps, and help employees understand available workplace supports. Protecting the integrity of the process is another major HR responsibility. HR helps implement interim measures when needed, such as changing shifts, separating employees, adjusting reporting structures, or arranging paid administrative leave. These measures are meant to reduce workplace tension and protect everyone involved while the investigation is ongoing. Confidentiality is also a key focus. HR works to ensure information is shared only with people who genuinely need to know. This helps reduce gossip, protect reputations, and maintain trust in the process. Along with confidentiality, HR is also responsible for monitoring the workplace for retaliation. Employees who participate in investigations should not experience punishment, exclusion, hostility, or unfair treatment because they raised concerns or cooperated in the process. Once the investigation is complete, HR's role shifts toward resolution and follow-up. HR works with management to review the investigator's findings and determine appropriate corrective actions. Depending on the situation, this could involve coaching, training, mediation, policy changes, formal discipline, or termination. HR also helps close the loop by ensuring the parties are notified appropriately that the investigation has concluded. Beyond the immediate case, HR may use investigation findings to identify larger workplace issues that need attention. For example, repeated complaints may reveal gaps in training, weak leadership practices, unclear policies, or broader cultural problems within the organization. One important challenge for HR is maintaining neutrality. Because HR is part of the organization and often reports to management, employees sometimes view HR as being on the company's side. To reduce concerns about bias, best practices recommend separating roles whenever possible. For example, the HR professional involved in gathering facts should ideally not be the same person deciding discipline or final outcomes. Overall, HR plays a balancing role in workplace investigations. They help ensure the organization responds appropriately to concerns while also protecting fairness, confidentiality, employee well-being, and legal compliance throughout the process.